We are currently in the London kill zone. I am going to go through the markets and put together a watch list currently. So here on the higher time frames at gold, we can see on gold here on the daily chart, gold is now currently trading within this bullish fair value gap here, or this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So I'd be looking for a price to either respect this fair value gap here, as it did in this previous hourly candle where price traded into the gap and then closed above it. This current candle, there's 10 minutes left. Currently price is within the gap. If price closes within the gap, then wait. If price disrespects the gap, then there's a higher probability price would deliver to the sell side. If price respects the gap, then look for the potential for price to redeliver to the buy side here. Hop down to the lower time frames. So here on the lower time frame, we can see on the 4-hour, there is a bearish fair value gap here that price could trade back into. And on the daily chart, on the hourly chart, this is the bullish fair value gap on the daily chart that yesterday price traded into once and here twice, and now here today during the London kill zone for the third time here. So we'll see if price reacts or price continues to the sell side here. But I would want to see a bullish fair value gap put in here on the hourly chart before taking a position. But there is potential during today's sessions for a long or a short in gold, depending on how price sets up here. I would say the potential for a long would be first, and then potentially later in the day, potential for a short, depending on how price sets up. Now we'll take a look at silver. Silver here on the higher time frames looks to be pulling back. Seeing some price delivery to the sell side. Just seeing further sell side delivery. I don't have anything that I want to trade at the moment, but I do see the possibility of later today price setting up here on the 4-hour chart, potentially putting in a bearish fair value gap right here, and then having price return to this level, as there is liquidity resting above this candle high, as there's no wick here. Head to Forex. Here on Euro USD, here on the higher time frames, seems to be pulling back. Here on the 4-hour chart, this 4-hour candle, this current 4-hour candle, this 2 a.m. candle has traded into this bearish fair value gap right here. So I'd be looking for a here on the 15-minute. I'd be looking for a bearish fair value gap to form after making contact with the bearish fair value gap on the 4-hour chart. You can see here price did deliver to the sell side, but price is currently within this series of bullish fair value gaps here on the 15-minute. So price reacted from this lower gap and potentially from this higher gap, as price has respected both gaps. And now price is currently being delivered here to the buy side. We come over here to the 1 hour chart. We can see that there is a bearish fair value gap that price has traded into here. So we come up to the 5-minute chart. There may be an entry here, and you can see price pulling back. $428 will be the stop here. Here. So I'm going to run my Fibonacci here. So there is an entry actually that I missed, but it may give a re-entry here. So where are we at? Euro, 10 cents. So 119, 438. Won't need a market. This is going to work here. Okay. And we're at 25.95. 337, 3.37 times 0.75. It's 250 here. Okay. Take an entry here, and one more. What's that stop? 119, 438. And 337 times 0.25, 84. Here. All right. Got an entry here on Euro USD. Here. I'm going to keep scanning here as I'm late for this one, but head over to pound dollar, and then I'll come back to that position to walk you through it. So here on pound dollar, pulling back here, bullish fair value gap here on the daily chart. So I want to look on the hourly chart to see if a bullish fair value gap is setting up. You can see here on the 4-hour chart, there's a bearish fair value gap, but price has failed to trade into it. And then here on the 1-hour chart, where I would want to see bullish price action setting up a bullish fair value gap, but that is not happening here. Price has instead traded into this bullish gap here and is now delivering to the sell side. So again, hop over to the 5-minute chart, or this is the 5-minute chart. Let's see. High 825. this one as well. Yeah, this one gave an entry here. See where we at? 70, 60. Wow, maybe like a maybe like a 30-cent spread on this thing. 37, 825, 37, 8. 55, 37, 8. Okay. Yep. This is put in another fair value gap here on the 5-minute. We'll see if price pulls back or if it's ready to deliver here to the sell side. I may have missed my entry here, but late to my station today. We'll see here. Price wants to deliver or pull back. Say it's likely to deliver as there's already been a change in the state of delivery here. I'm gonna hold here just in case. There we go, pulling back. See if we can get it to pull, or let's see if it will pull back one more time here. I'll take the entry. Late is better than never for this. Okay, pull back a little bit more, and I'll take this entry. Let's get set up for the next piece here. Okay, I'm going to take this here. And the 0.25, 84. Very unorganized here. Hold here, see if we can get a little bit more pullback. Probably not. Hold. May not get the entry on this one. Okay, I'm going to take this here. Alright, and on this one, out of position here, as ideally I would have wanted to be up here in this area here. But it'll work for now, and I'll come back and put my take profit in here along with the Euro US dollar position. Check on yen dollar. See if I'm late for that too. Okay, yen dollar here on the monthly chart has traded into a bullish fair value gap right here. So I'd be interested to see here on the daily chart if a bullish fair value gap is put in. Right now there's the potential for a bullish gap right in this area here. Here on the weekly chart, I can see price has gap down and nothing really showing here on the weekly. Let's hop over to the lower time frames here. Let's see, there's a bullish gap here. Price is traded into this bullish gap here on the 4-hour chart. This bullish fair value gap here. So I would anticipate here on the 15-minute that price is going to be putting in a bullish fair value gap here. And you can see a potential bullish fair value gap here. So when this 15-minute candle closed, there may be a buy opportunity right here. Here on the hourly chart, nothing showing right here, so I'm going to keep an eye on this 15-minute chart for a potential buy here in the next 8 minutes or so. Until then, I'll hop back over to Euro USD and Pound USD and cover why I entered those trades in a little bit more detail. As I had to focus on getting an entry just now instead of being able to walk you through a position that I already had and taking positions a bit lower than I could have if I were at my station on time. But here on, let's see, let's go back to the higher time frame in case there was anything there. Okay. So with pound dollar here on the daily chart, pound dollar here is pulling back, trading into this bullish fair value gap or this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. This gap was already traded into once, and this is the second attempt that price is making into the gap. Price respected the gap on this first trade, or on this previous candle, this previous daily candle. So yesterday, price respected this bullish fair value gap. Today, price is trading back into it, and then I would look for price to either respect or disrespect the gap. But looking at price action here on the, let's see, on the 4-hour chart, here you can see that price failed to trade into this bearish fair value gap, which would have helped to send price lower here. But that doesn't appear to have been necessary, as here on the 1-hour chart, here price has traded into this lower bearish fair value gap here and this higher bearish fair value gap here. In addition to that, price has also swept out liquidity here from the Asian high. So this purple line that you see here, this is the high of the Asian session. And we can see price here sweep that out of the market, sweep that buy side liquidity. So the price delivery algorithm has rated liquidity here. And then you can see price start to deliver to the sell side, and then seeing some potential continuation here. And for my stop loss, you can see my stop loss is resting just above this swing high here. where liquidity was rated. And then I have not set a profit target, but I can do so now. I want to look for a target. There's going to be liquidity resting right here below the Asian low. So this is an area that I want to target here. Ideally, I want it to be somewhere around the 2 to 1. So let's come in here. This is 137.307. So punch that in. And because my entry is late, this risk to reward may be off here. So I'm going to put in a risk to reward based on the entry that I would have ideally, what would be my ideal entry here? Oh, this is off of the 5 minute. Let me back up here. Okay. So if I would have been on time, my entry would have been here at this equilibrium point here. This 137.706. So I'm going to use that as a reference point for my take profit. That way it'll be accurate. And then if I need to make some adjustments, I will. I just want to see where the 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio is on this. 37,855. So when you're late to your station, sometimes you've got to scramble and then do better the next time. Okay. 39.66. But fortunately, I was able to gain entries in both the positions that set up here for my system during the London session. So I am extremely grateful for that so far, and we'll see how the trades play out throughout the course of the session and or day here. 79.32. 79.32. 37.307. Okay. So now I'm gonna 648. Okay, so it looks like the 2 to 1 is gonna be pretty close. Actually, it's gonna be better than a 2 to 1. So I'm just gonna let that trade out. Since this was a session sweep, I'm not going to put in for a 2 to 1, and I'm just going to go for the low of the session here. Now we're starting to see some sell side delivery here coming in. Something looks off with this order. I'm going to put this back in. Something looks off here. Uh, 137.855. punching in the numbers for Euro USD here. Okay, now we're talking. It's like we knew something was. It helps to get these orders correct. 25, 2, 50, 18, 706. So this was going to be short of 2 to 1 regardless here. If I'm just going for that number, 18. Perfect. Right here. Still going to go for a 2 to 1, even though a bit off here. Okay. Putting orders in and things, it's definitely good to slow down. So when I was putting the orders in, the reason why I didn't try to put the whole order in is for this reason right here. Just trying to be careful when making orders. There have been times where I've made errors making orders, and if I just slowed down, then things would have been much better. So just lesson learned. Again and again. 136, 825. Pick this target. Okay. And I'm picking this target because after this Asian low, liquidity is rated here on the hourly chart. The next meaningful area of liquidity is going to be this bullish fair value gap down here. So I'm going to target it for an extended take profit here. So the first position is 75% at 2 to 1, and then the runner is a 25% position here, and then let's see what it looks like on paper. $37, $634. Then this profit target down here is 137.26. Need to change that. Six. So this is going to be for the extended target. 2.75 to 1. Okay, I'm going to adjust that order. Lots of room for potential error here. No, my platform does not want to let me in. Okay. That position is now modified, so pound dollar is now set to go. And now it would just be a matter if price does reach the first target to move price to, or move stop loss to break even for the runner. Head over to euro dollar, walk you through that. Okay, here on euro dollar, monthly, weekly, and daily, nothing here, for me at least. But here, let's see, on the 4-hour, so on the 4-hour chart, we get price trading into this bearish fair value gap or sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency here on the 4-hour. So looking at that, that would trigger a short idea based on the 15-minute. But I believe the 1-hour setup as well here. You can see the 1-hour trading into this lower and upper fair value gaps here, and then delivering to the sell side. So this position I actually took based off the hourly chart, and here on the 5-minute. So you can see here, price delivering away from that fair value gap that's up here on the hourly chart, and then puts in its own fair value gap here on the 5-minute chart here. Price trades back up into it. This is me taking a late entry. Ideally my entry would have been just a little bit higher up here, and now you can see price delivering here to the sell side, creating a change in a state of delivery here, putting in a new order block, and price delivering here to the sell side. Let's see, I want a 2-to-1 here, so I'm gonna put an order in here. See what my stop is, 119.438. 438. My injury much better than my last, but still not great. Let's see. About to put in the wrong amount again. Let's fix that. 119.342. 342. Okay. So 25.62. Times 2. 51.24. There we go, right here. Alright, that order's set. Now, choose a target for the runner. So this is a 2-to-1 to here. Let's see. Did this get swept here? This is the New York PM low from yesterday. So I'm not too concerned about that, but this Asian session did get taken out. So I'm going to go for the low of the Asian session here. What is this? 189.45. Let's see what it looks like. $118.945. 119,337. No, that's the price. Stop loss 119,438. Okay. So this would leave this runner to be a 3 point, let's call it 9 to 1. Quite a nice runner here if it were to go to target. Alright, now both positions now have stop loss and take profit. So the only thing left for me to do is to allow price to play out. I'll either be stopped out of a full position, or we'll see price deliver to profit target for TP1 and potentially for TP2 in these positions. We'll see how price action plays out here for the remainder of the session and potentially for the day here. But so far so good, as price is currently being delivered to the sell side in both of my short positions here in Euro USD and Pound USD here in the London kill zone session here, or in the London session, this kill zone. So if all goes well, it's just a matter of allowing the BTC to collect here. Lately I have been going through different ICT concepts and have decided on this current model, which I feel like is very closely related, or could be used very well with the 2022 ICT mentorship model. So this concept that I'm using here incorporates using higher time frames and lower time frame alignment, so multiple time frame alignment, in addition to the use of internal and external range liquidity. So when I'm taking these positions, when I'm using these fair value gaps, let's take for example here on the 15-minute, these fair value gaps serve as internal range liquidity, and then once these liquidity points have been reached, then the price delivery algorithm will look to seek external range liquidity. So for an example on that here on the 15-minute chart here, you can see price deliver to the sell side here, putting in this large gap, and then delivering further to the sell side, putting in this smaller gap, further to the sell side. You can see price come back up, trade into this bearish fair value gap, or the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It trades back up into this, and then price delivers it lower here, sweeping out this external range liquidity here. So you can see price deliver, let's say price delivers to the sell side, delivers to the buy side, and then back to the sell side for a sweep. But in that process of going back to the sell side for a sweep, we'll see this. Let's say price delivers to the sell side, to the buy side. Price comes back down into this bullish gap here. So this swing low, this is the swing low for this gap. Price trades down into the gap, uses this internal range liquidity to sweep out external range liquidity here. Then price delivers to the sell side, comes back to this bearish fair value gap, and then delivers to the sell side, sweeping out this external range liquidity here. So this would make this bullish fair value gap right here. This would make this internal range liquidity, as this is used to raid that external. And then this bearish fair value gap, or this SIBI, would be used as internal range liquidity here. As price delivered into it and then swept out the external range liquidity here. So my system is based off of, as I mentioned, internal and external range liquidity, using these internal range fair value gaps to target external range swing highs and swing lows. In addition to that, using the 2022 ICT mentorship model for entry at the fair value gap areas. So since the 2022 ICT mentorship is based off of fair value gaps, I thought it would be a very nice complement to this system. And today is the first day that I am, let's say, properly deploying it. And so far, so good, other than being late, which is nothing to do with the mechanical parts of the system, but more to do with the human parts of the system. But tomorrow would be another day, or the next session is another session to improve on that. So that would be a matter of setting alarms and being dedicated to being prepared at the beginning of the session. Price pulling back here. I'm going to head over to pound dollar. I might need to refresh here, as my platform is behaving rather slow right now. Okay, now over to Euro US dollar. I'm going to head over. Actually, I'm going to restart this again just in case. Sometimes when I refresh this app, it'll update to a previous save version, like maybe earlier in the session or something, and I lose some work. So okay, I'm going to head back over. Okay, this is set for you. So this is where it was. Very good. Pulling back. Okay, now I'll head over to pound dollar. Same thing, pulling back, but pound dollar seems to be a bit weaker. New fair value gap on the 15-minute chart. You can see here on the hourly chart, again we had this sweep here, the Asian session. The Asian session here, Asian session high, a sweep here. But seeing the potential here, depending on how this candle closes in the next 25 minutes here, a potential for a bearish fair value gap, or a buy side or a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency here on the 1 hour chart. There's the possibility for that setting up now. Also seeing this swing high here was swept by this candle that also swept the Asian high. This candle, this current hourly candle, if it closes below the body of this candle here, this could create a change in the state of delivery here. Be a change in the state of delivery, creating an order block. And this would become an order block here, and then I would look for price to deliver here further to the sell side, and then potentially come back to retest, and I would look for another potential leg lower here. Back to Euro US dollar. See if there's similar price action here. You can see here on the hourly chart, there's that swing high and Asian high right here. See price going up, sweeping that liquidity. Now price returning to the sell side. Same thing here. If price closes below this level here, that would be a change in a state of delivery here, creating an order block. And the same thing, I would look for price to deliver to the short side, retest this order block, and then continue delivery here to the sell side onto the liquidity resting below this candle, which would be the Asian session low. So anyone looking to go long from the Asian session will have their stop losses down here, and if the price delivery algorithm delivers price down there, then they would be rated and taken out of the market. Back to pound dollar. So price action very similar in these two pairs, with some exception. Seeing some more, let's say, speed and weakness potentially in, or volatility in pound. And then in the pound, you can see here on the 1 hour chart, very nice clean sweep of the Asian session here. But on Euro USD, you'll see that there's a body candle close above the Asian session here. Zoom in a bit closer. So the Asian session high is this purple line right here. This line where my entries are, I believe, is like a pink. So they're going to be pretty close together in color. But this is the Asian session high at the high of this wick of this candle here. So this Asian session high, you can see here, there's a body candle close above the session. And then in the following candle, you get this candle here forming, and then get a lower body here. So getting sell side delivery after a body candle close, as opposed to pound dollar with a clean sweep of the Asian high without a body candle close, only a wick candle close. And starting to see some further delivery here to the sell side. As price has pulled back in this 15-minute candle. Price has not returned to the bearish fair value gap here on pound US dollar, even though it may either in this candle or in the next. There's 5 minutes remaining in this candle. See Euro USD, quick look. Okay, there is a gap here, but this gap is higher. Here. And we can see here, pound dollar still pulling back. That fair value gap on euro dollar is quite a distance away. I wouldn't anticipate price returning to it, but with this price action here on pound dollar, I would anticipate a return back into the gap as the pound dollar pair had moved a further distance than the euro dollar pair. I can see this pair pulling back and the euro dollar pair not pulling back as price was not delivered in a manner that would require price to pull back in order to continue. So again, similar price action in both pairs, but not so much. I'm going to hop over to the dollar yen pair. There may have been something set up over there that I've gotten distracted and fallen asleep on. Yes, this was just trade into the monthly, so I'm looking for something on the daily still. So probably still waiting on something to happen here. Didn't trade down yet. Traded down here on the 4 hour. So there's a 4 hour position right here. Okay, this is going to be my target gap for an entry here. Okay, I'm going to get set up and then I'll walk you through what I have trading here. It's a 4 hour. Give it 15. So 152, 660. No, my entry would be here at equilibrium. 153, 966. And I believe I can risk 250 on this. Okay. Looks like hit profit target on euro dollar or either, yeah, hold on. Okay, hit profit target on euro dollar. I'll hop over and check on it in a bit. I need to get this situated here. But yeah, profit target on first target on euro US dollar, and I'll go back and set stop loss to the break even here. Get set 153, 4. Okay, well, I've got a second. I'm going to hop over to Euro USD and move my stop to the break even here. So very good. First target reach here on that sell side. And move my stop to break even here. Now stop is moved to break even. So now I am risk free on this position. I cannot lose any money on this position. Now I'm going to hop back over to pound here, make to the yen pair, get set back up here. $152,660. And 153,966. Okay. That's what I can risk, and now I need a 2-to-1 of 2090. 4180. Perfect. Right here. 25, 250. I'm not certain if there'll be an entry here. This price seems to want to move away from me here. Okay, I'm gonna do this 300, and then I'll come in with 100 on the on the runner. $153,966. Actually, no, I don't need to. I just need to find a target. Okay. 158,223. $58,087. $52,660. Okay. It's another reason why you have to check the orders carefully, because that would have been a market order just now, and that would have not been ideal. Okay. Okay, now my orders are set here. So I'm going to let this sit. And allow price to come back. As this has set up in the kill zone, so I'm going to trade it out. You can see here on the hourly chart here that price is now potentially set to close above this Asian high. And then with a body candle close above the Asian high, there's a relatively high probability that price will likely want to continue to the buy side for the course of the day. Also, there's the potential of a bullish fair value gap setting up here on the hourly chart. So there's the potential for price to deliver back into this area and then deliver to the buy side, as a change in the state of delivery is now taking place here. And then you can see this price action here where price is now being delivered to the buy side outside of the current range, but there's been no pullback to this fair value gap here. So I'm going to let this hourly candle set. I'll adjust the Fibonacci, and then I'll likely need to adjust my entry accordingly. But ideally, the entry will likely come up to the high of the fair value gap, and then it won't really matter where price goes. The fair value gap price level will be set, so I'll just look for an entry there, so long as price continues here to deliver to the buy side for the remaining 5 minutes or so left in the kill zone. Hop back over to the pound dollar and the euro dollar, and then I'll come back to the dollar yen for adjustments. Okay, and now we can see here on pound dollar, here on the 4-hour chart, price has now put in a break of structure here on the 4-hour chart to the sell side. And then here on the 1-hour chart, see price is now trading below the Asian session. So nearing first profit target here. So price currently trading at 137,262 and initial take profit is 137,234. So very close to the first take profit. Had I been at my station on time, I'd already be in profits on this position, much like Euro USD, just with that better entry. So we'll see if price will deliver just a little further to compensate for my error. And then see if there's any potential further sell side delivery for the extended take profit or for the runner. So price consolidating here around the 137,270 level. Now 137,280. Ideally, I want to see some sell side delivery here with some speed, but price is now retracing. So this is why getting a proper entry is very important, because you can miss your exit just by a little bit. So price pulling back aggressively here after sweeping the Asian low, reacting from the Asian low here. But even with the correct target here, which I think I'm off by about 50, 245. Where is that? It got down to 245. So yeah, maybe I would have hit. Maybe I would have been able to take partial here. I'm gonna fox chase this. See if that better entry would have gotten me a take profit there. 37,706. With the spread, I don't know. The position is 1,000. Entry would be 706. And exit 137 to 55. Way more than a 2 to 1. Something's off here again. Okay, so if I would have been in my original position, I've been able to have taken profit there. But since I'm out of position and still decided to hold for the full 2 to 1 out of position, having to face this drawdown here after getting that close to profit target. But I would anticipate price to deliver a bit further after getting just that close to take profit and then turning around. Typically when I see that, price is likely to head another leg lower. But we'll see if price action plays out that way. Now we have this candle high set here on the yen dollar. And now we've got the 50% level moved up to 154.007. This may continue, price action may continue to deliver here to the buy side. And I'll likely step away from my station sometime after now, since the session, or at least the kill zone, has ended about 2 minutes ago. So I'm just going to set my entry likely here for the high end of this gap. 7, which would be 154.017, just to make it easy on myself. This position I don't need to do anything to. Drop my size. So the ideal entry would be this 154.007, but I've just chosen the 154.017 just because price may play around here. It may, as you can see here, get close and then deliver to the buy side or do different things. So this 007 level may be valid for now, but just like the level was valid here lower, price moves up and it changes the entry point of the trade. So if I just choose the entry of the fair value gap, then it doesn't matter what price does. It can do whatever it wants to do, but when it gets back to the gap, then my limit would be tripped. Let's head up to Euro USD really quickly. So we can see Euro USD after take profit has pulled back and is doing some consolidation here on the 15-minute. Also here on the hourly chart, as I mentioned, potentially putting in a bearish fair value gap here. Head back over to pound dollar and see if price price is redelivering here to the sell side. Actually, let me update this chart on Euro US dollar here on the 15-minute. Okay. Now back over to pound dollar. This is why entries are important, because if you are late or sloppy on your entries, then you have to sit through this type of pullback. Okay, so now we have this bearish fair value gap here has been traded into here. So with this internal range liquidity, I would anticipate the potential for price delivery back to the sell side to sweep this external range liquidity resting down here and take profit. That would be ideal, but price would have to respect this fair value gap. If not, price could deliver higher, and then there's another fair value gap here. So two layers of internal range liquidity in between the break even and take profit here. So one of the reasons why I was debating on whether or not I just wanted to take profit at the standard 2-to-1 based on if the entry would have been on time was for this reason. Price went to the area of take profit and then pulled back and didn't cover the distance of price from my late entry to my ideal entry. But now you can see price testing this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency here, and currently halfway through this 15-minute candle, price is respecting this bearish fair value gap. Price will continue to respect this fair value gap. Then price may return and sweep this area and potentially give me a take profit here. I'm going to head back over to the yen dollar while this is sorting itself out. And we can see here yen dollar still trading above the gap here. So again, trading out of this 4-hour bullish fair value gap, sent price to the buy side here, and now waiting price to return to this bullish fair value gap for potential further delivery to the buy side. Now I'll head back over to pound dollar and sweat this trade as it hovers around above or in between stopping me out and initial take profit. So this could psychologically be greed. This could also be maybe overcompensation. I could have just said, okay, I'm just gonna take profit target where profit target would be, instead of, okay, I'm just gonna hold for what my entry is. So pros and cons to either or. My risk to reward ratio, if you value that more, then you're going to stick to your entry numbers. If you want to be more on, let's say the pure trade itself, then you accept the fact that you're late and you just take profit where it is designed to be taken, instead of for your risk to reward. So more on, let's say, trade design. So I would say likely the more accurate, or what I would prefer, would be trade design. I believe this was greed this morning, and just anticipating that, yeah, it's going to go, and yeah, the runner's going to go. I could have also just manually taken profit as the price was trading down into that area. But then there's also the potential for price to play around for a bit and then return, as I mentioned here on the 1-hour chart. Price could do something like this and then this later, trading into this higher bearish fair value gap. But obviously, all of these things you want to avoid by taking profit and then just letting your runner play around with price action like this instead of your full trading size. So in hindsight, sticking to the trade plan as best as manageable, I think would have been the best thing here, as price is delivering with speed here to the buy side. But then that could all change in a few minutes if price respects this fair value gap, delivers back to the sell side. And then if that happens, and if I had taken, let's say, the trade system based take profit, then I would be saying, oh, if I would have just held. So there's a trap either way, but the main point is be at your station on time and be prepared for your session. Speaking of which, I'm going to adjust my alarms right now while I'm talking about doing the thing. I'm just going to do the thing here. So it takes me, I don't know, just to wake up, half an hour. So let's try this. Make a slight adjustment. There are plenty of things that I can do here to improve on what just happened. For example, I can set my charts up in a previous or during the previous session. So during the Asian session, I could have built my charts out more. So for this particular system, I just switched formally over to it last night or during the afternoon yesterday. So none of my charts on all 5 markets were fully set up. So this morning took a bit longer because I had to adjust and mark up 6 different charts for 5 different markets. So marking up 30 charts before you start a session is going to take some time. So I'm going to make I've just made a small adjustment on what time I want to show up to my station, but I don't anticipate another occasion where I would need to do as much preparation before a session. Preparation is something that you'll do before, or that I do before every session, but the amount of it just depends on how up to date I am at the start of the session. So looking like this body candle close is going to happen within the fair value gap, or this may come up and disrespect the gap. And right now it's disrespecting the gap with the close. Less than a minute remaining in this candle. So very aggressive pullback here. Price looks like it wants to reach the second fair value gap in this candle here. And there's a body candle close disrespecting the 15-minute fair value gap here. Now we're seeing a return to sell side delivery. Price could be potentially putting in a bullish fair value gap here. Unless price returns to this level, which would be ideal. Let's head over to Euro, USD. Price returning to the buy side here. Price stayed in the gap, and now price is moving up here. still pulling back, headed towards the fair value gap here. So some sell side delivery still coming in here on yen dollar. And here on the hourly chart, here this potential bullish gap here. Price consolidating here around the 137.450 level. You can see here on the 1 hour chart that price has created a market structure, or no, this is a breakup structure here with a body candle closed to the sell side, and price has pulled back to this market structure shift level, which would be this candle right here, serving as the swing low. Price pulling back to it. So even though prices pull back here rather aggressively, still within the scope of looking for a sell side delivery, things are still, I would say price action is still set up for sell side delivery, even though I would prefer to have unloaded the bulk of my position by now, but if all goes well, price will redeliver to the sell side and provide that take profit and potentially beyond for extended take profit. Back over to the yen dollar right now. Still seeing some pullback, but going rather slow here. It looks like my ideal entry is likely going to hold up, but I'm just going to leave the entry that I have here in case I step away and price does what it normally does, which is all the things. Head over to euro dollar pair, see how it's looking. Same thing here, this euro dollar pair here on the 1 hour chart. Price has traded below these swing lows here, putting in a breakup structure here to the sell side. And price has pulled back to test the market structure shift level here. Back to pound dollar. Less than 10 minutes remaining in this candle. If all goes well, then we'll get this candle to deliver, and then if there's a close below, get a rebalance of this potential, or at least it will close what would be at least this potential bullish gap, And then if the bullish gap does form, then just watch for the reaction that happens here, and either price will respect the gap and return to the buy side, close within the gap, and likely disrespect it or disrespect the gap. So these would be the three potential options for price action if this bullish fair value gap does form here in the next 8 minutes and change. If you'd like to know more, visit us at OnTiltTrading.com. Stay on tilt, never emotional. We'll see you next time.